Yeah, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Capone, you know what I'm saying? One half of that dynamic duo, Capone-N-Noreaga. And right now, tuned in to Mikey T, the movie star, you know what I'm saying? Where the movies is made, you know what I'm saying? We don't edit shit. Keep it 100. Mikey T, the movie star. It's your boy Capone. My chick, QB. One.
You sure didn't edit anything off of that war report. So everyone knows you from the legendary duo CNN. Can you take me back? Can you tell me how it was growing up in New York? You know, your music depicts a crazy reality.
Yeah, I mean, you know, growing up in New York was crazy, you know, especially coming from Queensbridge, one of the biggest projects in the world, you know what I'm saying? If not the biggest projects in the world. So, you know, we seen a lot on the daily. I seen a lot on the daily. Then, you know, branching off the other boroughs, man, New York was crazy, especially coming up in the 80s, man. You know what I mean? That was like gladiator school in New York in the 80s. You know what I mean? It was you had to learn how to survive. You either sold drugs or you was a stick-up kid or you was a fighter, whatever it wasn't good.
You know, through this life that you were living, when did you first start to see that music was something that you could get involved with?
The crazy thing is I always loved music, you know what I'm saying? Because coming from Queensbridge, like once again, my projects played a big part of my life. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to be from a place where so many legends come from, you know what I'm saying? And one of the things that we had in Queensbridge was the park jams. That's when, you know, you would see Rakim, you would see Curtis Blow, you would see MC Shan, you would see all of the Juice Crew, Bismarck, you would see a lot of people in and out the park, you know, and that made me fall in love with music. I either wanted to be a DJ or wanted to be a rapper. At that time, I wanted to be a DJ because there was a time when a DJ was kind of bigger than a rapper, you know what I'm saying? There was a time when, you know, it was DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, not Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? That's how, you know, Eric B. and Rakim, you know what I'm saying? That's how things was. The DJ was the man, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I came in the game wanting to be a DJ, listening to old 70s music, the late 70s disco and all that. I wanted to cut them records up. And eventually, you know, I started getting into basic loving hip hop lyrics, not just hip hop, but the lyrics. And I said, you know what, I could write. And I couldn't, but eventually I learned, you know what I mean? But Big N.O.R.E from the infamous Mob, from Mobb Deep, he wrote my first rhyme, not as a professional rapper, let's get this clear, as a 12, 13-year-old kid, he wrote my first rhyme, you know what I mean? And from there was just everything that I wanted to do had involved music.
So was this actually before you met N.O.R.E?
This was before I met N.O.R.E, yep. This is before I met N.O.R.E. This is like 88 and 89 and shit like that. I met N.O.R.E in about 92, you know what I mean? But even when I met N.O.R.E, it was not music with us, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't music, it was, you my homeboy, you my dude, you my G, you know what I'm saying? We bidding, we wasn't worried about, I didn't even know he could rap, you know what I'm saying? He didn't know I could rap because we wasn't waking up beating on the tables and all that shit. We was watching basketball, and that's how we actually met, through basketball. That was our calling, basketball, not music. Music came into play probably 3 years later. We was on different sides of the jail, and my team and his team met in the championship. So the whole time before us meeting in the championship, it was like we would go to church and things like that to meet each other. And then that day we finally like had time. It was like, yo, don't play no D on me, I don't play no D on you. And I had like 35, he had like 30. And that was our introduction to homeboyness, to brotherhood, you know what I mean? That was our introduction. And I got him moved to my house, me and OG Pam's, and because he was nice in basketball. That was our calling. And we had a dude named Asiatic. He was like Michael Jordan. He was too great to be 16 or 17 years old, you know what I mean? And then we went from there. We never talked about music. We never talked about forming a group. We never did none of that. We was like, when we go home, we're gonna get some bricks or we're gonna do something or whatever it's gonna be, we're gonna get some money. And that was on our agenda.
So put it in perspective for me, like how the two of you actually go on from meeting to becoming Capone-N-Noreaga.
Yeah, well, you know, Faith Newman, she was trying to get a situation for me. And that didn't work. And one day I had a session with Buttnick, I think it was Buttnick and Tim Dog. I'm not sure who I had a session with, but it was for my solo project. And N.O.R.E just had came home, and N.O.R.E was like, yo, I'm coming to the studio. And I was like, bet. He comes to the studio, and he's like, yeah, you know I can rap too. I'm like, word? Oh shit, yeah, that's right, I forgot, boom, boom. And I was like, yo, fuck it, jump on this record. And we did a record, and our first record was Panama Canal, man. And it was, you know, like, it was history because we never recorded together. We never rapped together. We never practiced our flows. We never did none of that. We just made a banger the first time we ever got in the booth together. And that's when Capone-N-Noreaga was created.
Yeah, that's right, because Capone and Noriega, those are two serious names, man.
Yeah. I was Kai Capone as a little kid, and N.O.R.E was always infatuated with Noriega as a kid. So it was only right we took our two people that we admired the most as far as, you know, characters and use their names you know what I'm saying? Because at that time there was a lot of mob things going on. You had Lucky Luciano, Lou Diamonds, and Lex Diamonds, and all these names, which was dope. We had to find a way to fit in and don't take nobody else's name, and it worked.
I appreciate you answering both parts of that question for me right there. So I believe it's 1995 that CNN appears in the Source Unsigned Hype section.
Yep, that was real.
You were in good company, man. You know, Eminem, Biggie Smalls. Can you tell me about when you found out you were going to be featured in the magazine?
Man, at that time, I was like, nigga, we made it. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that was big for my moms to witness and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt like, damn, because you got to realize nobody in that column was superstars yet. You know what I'm saying? It was not like we're in that column where Big was a star. He wasn't a superstar yet. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it feels good to still be here right now at this moment talking to you and have been in that column. That says a lot about my travels through hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So you say I was in great company. I say I was in blessed company. I was in heaven sent company because everybody, and even though Big, rest in peace, he lost his life, he still made a mark on hip hop that still has yet to be touched. And look at Eminem's mark on hip hop, you know, and look at CNN's mark on hip hop. Look at my mark on hip hop. So, you know, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. I never take any day for granted.
And even on a smaller scale, Capone, like looking at the being on that column, the Unsigned Hype, it's like, okay, this is going to be my job. I'm never going to go back to being a manager at a grocery store or, you know what I mean? It's like, this is going to be what I do for a living.
For me though, that I ain't gonna lie, I was still selling drugs. Like even though
I know.
I was still selling drugs. I was still going out of state. I was still going to Baltimore. I was still going to Troy. So, you know, it was like, I'm in the Unsigned Hype, but I refuse to be broke and on the Unsigned Hype column. That because you know your life changes. Now you go from being the people that people wanting to get recognized to now you're recognized. Now you're in hip hop. You are in a magazine. It's like you made it. But I'm not gonna sit there and say we was rich at the time. I'm not gonna sit there and say we was broke. But we was doing what we had to do to survive and to live how we was living without let's say going to jail forever. You know what I'm saying? Because I already had a case. I want to get this clear. Like people like, how you get a record deal and all this and catch a case and all? No, that's not what happened. I already had the case and got my record deal. That's why I love Neil Levine and Penalty, because they signed me knowing I was going to jail. They had to give me a record deal, but they knew I was going to jail. And they still gave me an N.O.R.E record deal. That's big, you know what I'm saying? So for me, you know, travels in life, man. Travels in life, man. Wow.
So looking back at it, what did you have to do to secure that spot? Like, you know what I mean? Did you have to totally leave that lifestyle? I guess you didn't really have to. Did you have to leave that lifestyle behind, you know, and focus on the music?
I mean, after I got situated per se, because like I said, I had to go to jail. So I think the time I realized that I got my record deal, you know, we in the Unsigned hype, we got LA out, we got these chips, these chips lined up. We got them lined up. So now I could take my foot off the gas in the street.